Okay, so on Monday, yeah, C3 AI is soared more than 23% after announcing preliminary fiscal Q4 results. So higher revenue is coming in. Yeah, let's just take a quick look at that stock. Um, I don't, I traded before, but I kind of haven't traded, like, kind of lost, uh, stopped following it. But, but yeah, they did announce good. So this is the jump right here, 23% on Monday.
Hmm.
And it has climbed since, and it following the market. Um, and then now it's starting to fall back. So this stock is usually pretty volatile. Like usually, if you have your gains in a few sessions, you want to take it, especially big gains. So that's the way to trade this one. But yeah. But there's lots of AI. Right now it seems like this week AI stocks really powered up. We'll look at more of them, but this was one that was surprising that they're announcing higher revenue. Like it's like they announced their preliminary result, right? Which is,
Hmm.
a good sign of the stock, but yeah. But sometimes, there might be caveat, like, it's more like, so really what's going to happen is like, well, this is the current quarter, but how about
Hmm.
next quarter, right? So that's the key, right? So now it's already priced in the current quarter result. So what's going to happen next quarter? So that's what people are going to follow on, and they report in 12 days. Um, so Monday, okay, let me open Nasdaq here for a second. So Monday and Tuesday was pretty quiet. It wasn't like any good trading. Um,
Hmm.
so I was like, and we'll talk about something very important in a second. But like Monday, yeah. So Monday, Tuesday. Oh, Monday it made a new high here, on Nasdaq. Like at least on the new recent high right here. And then
Hmm.
Tuesday it gave back very little, but I think S&P has more trouble. Um, And Wednesday, Thursday is where the 2 days of really big gains came in for some tech stock. So yeah, you see Monday here on S&P was up, but then Tuesday it actually hit a lower low than Monday. So that was the negative. And I think, yeah, and then Wednesday was the day it bounced, Thursday bounced, and Friday gave back a little bit again. So it's very same story in both S&P and Nasdaq. So that's kind of where we're at. The big news this week is, it really, um, um, the what you call the market really took off, right? Um,
Hmm.
I think that was the big news this week. So you see, it was in kind of going up slowly, but then it accelerates. So you can see the 10-day line is like going at this slope now. So um, there's probably going to be a pullback coming up, especially with the debt ceiling stuff going on. And as we get closer to the clock, June 1st, probably market will not like it if they can't resolute on that. So
Hmm.
so that's really what the big um the so let me see. So yeah, equal weight on Monday, equal weight outperformed. That was a good sign. But then Tuesday it went back down even more. That's what. So that's the negative thing. Um,
Hmm.
okay, this one is about SHAK. There's an investment capital activist who's trying to look at it. Like I'm looking at this stock right now. So let me look at this SHAK here. So it has pulled back since Monday after that news. Um, but overall, this stock actually have really good earnings. So if I look at SHAK here, yeah, 57% earnings growth projection. Um, and that's after this jump this 2 weeks ago from their earnings. So they still have a very good projection. You can see I draw, I'm trying to focus more on stage two uptrends now because I think we're getting to the point where it's starting to look more obvious. So here's a good example, right? So we have, this big stage four downtrend, and then we have this stage one, um, kind of building a base here, and then we have this uptrend here, and now we're going into stage two. So
Hmm.
this is definitely a turnaround story. Um, I haven't seen IBD cover this stock yet, but right now, like I said, there's activists looking at this stock trying to take control. So it could be a good thing. Um, yeah. Yeah. Just 1 second. Okay, so that's SHAK. I think I just want to double check if there's any issue with the stock. Nope, I don't see any issue. Yeah, everything should look okay. Like you see, institutions, still rising recently. Very stable revenue. Yeah, it's making new highs. Look at the volume on the earnings, really high. That's the thing you want to see most, I find, for especially for longer term trading. This is what you want to see, because it shows that lots of institutions come in here, and then they're gonna hold, right, for a longer time. So it might have a good run here. We'll see. So that's SHAK. So that was one news. There's some, and then Tuesday, some of these stocks were doing well, like Hubs, TGOS, TTG. We'll look at stocks later. Now definitely doing well as well. Lots of tech stocks doing well. But Tuesday we end up with a maldistribution day on S&P, as we saw. It wasn't holding up as well. And so up to Tuesday, everything still looked pretty bad, right? Narrow breadth, everything. And then Onan took a big hit, right? So my strategy going into Onan earnings was, like I said, sell half, and I did. Sold half on this day at the end of the day. And Wednesday morning, it gapped down, and luckily it didn't get down too much. I think it was down 5 or 6% in the morning. And so that's when it triggered it triggered my sell anyway. So because at the open, and then it went down, continued to go down during the day. And again, it's just that's the story, right? For this recent quarter, it's either you do well or you get knocked out, right? And so this one get knocked out, and that's the sad part. So yeah, so that's this stock. Unfortunately, if I check the growth here, I think, let me see, what's the growth going forward? Yeah, see, it's negative now, going forward. That's not good, right? So I think probably people were expecting better going forward, and they're going to be in negative growth, at least based on the guidance. So that's not good. But this is still a leader, and leaders, that's what they do. They will correct, and then they will they might have some hiccups, and then they'll grow. Like they're still probably going to grow, and they just have some growing pains, and but for me, I'm not a trader that holds through corrections. That's me. Some people can hold through correction. I just can't. For me, I'd rather take my smaller loss and just wait until correction finish, and then I'll come back into it. That's how I usually trade. Wednesday is where the big day came in. A lot of stocks, like I even find other areas, not just tech, doing better. But it was definitely no doubt, but led by tech stocks. Something came in on Wednesday as well, which I found very surprising. So which is the American Association Individual Investor Survey, show a really low amount of bullish investors, 29%. Whereas the neutral was at 29, and the bearish was at 41. So I have the screen here. Let me just show you quickly here. So here's the sentiment. Yeah, so here's the thing. May 10 was like, that was the one that I just mentioned, 29%. But 17, which is Wednesday, by end of day Wednesday, I think, I don't know when it came out exactly, but it dropped to 22%, which is the lowest. I don't know, it doesn't show. There's probably more. You can see probably further back. So here, 22%. So when's the last time it was at 22%? March 29. So it went down to 20% during that March time frame. So people have definitely gotten less bullish, but the bearish actually went down. That's the funny thing. So like people were more neutral. You see, neutral at 37%. and then we can look at the fear and greed index. Pretty greedy right now. That's why I feel like it's starting to look, extended, and yeah, it might still run for a little bit more, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of stocks ran up too fast, right? But it doesn't mean it could continue if there's good news. That's the thing about the market, is if there's good news coming out, they can go higher. So I wouldn't short this market. That's just the way it is right now. It can move really fast. That's what it's been doing. Yeah, and then we see Nasdaq S&P hit new highs on Wednesday for the year. That's the big news, right? That's very bullish. And then the stock, lots of stocks, starting to do, even Netflix doing really well. Lots of chip stocks doing well. Early Thursday, this I was surprised, because the jobless claim dropped to 242, more than the expected, fall to 255. But the market still went up that day. Even the manufacturing index was higher than expected. And so even with the good economic numbers, usually the market react, negatively, because they think Fed will, raise. But market went up on Thursday, which I found was very interesting. Usually the market will go hand in hand with this, but the narrative has changed. That's the thing that I noticed about Thursday. And then the stocks, again, same thing. Start out the day slow, but then it closed really high on the day. So we can go look at, let's use QQQE as an example. We can look at 5-day, and you can see here. So May 17, close at a high. May 18. See, when it started in the morning, it doesn't look like a big day. Same thing on Thursday. It started out, okay, this one slightly went up a little bit, and then it went up more by the end of the day. So Wednesday, Thursday, basically, it wasn't like a gap up type of move. It was more like, hey, what are investors thinking? And so it's almost like counterintuitive, which is weird, right? Like I said, it's weird because usually when there's better economic numbers, especially when it comes to jobless claims, people are paying a lot of attention, but they seem to disregard that this better number and assume Fed was going to do nothing. And then what happened? Okay, so I just finished reading this 2-day rally, first back-to-back gain since February, more than 1%. So this is also very important, but the index may be due for a pullback. So on Friday, yeah, the Fed came, like I think Ben Bernanke and Fed Powell speak. I don't have those sentences here, but they were. Might have the big picture here. Let me see somewhere. Yeah, there you go. I just want to read the exact words that he said. Because again, so here he said, Fed Powell said banking sector strength could mean the policy rate may not need to rise as much as it would have otherwise to achieve our goals. So all of a sudden, after that statement, again, I was watching this very closely, and then the interest rate jump, like it was like 50. Like what happened during the week was like, let's say Monday, Tuesday. Remember last week it was like 80%, over 85%, and it dropped to like 60%. So meaning like there's a high chance of raising rate, and then after Friday statement in the morning, it jumped back up to 80%. So because the Fed say, hey, they don't see the need to raise as much as they want to anymore. So it's almost like the market knew this was happening, is what I'm trying to say. Because Wednesday, Thursday, especially Thursday, with those good numbers, you would think the market would fall, but it didn't. And it's like they knew that the Fed was going to say this, which is really weird. So now we're assuming there's no raise rate in June. Which market will really like, and that's why I think hence the Wednesday, Thursday rebound is so strong. So that's just something that I think we can we may be in a strong bull market now. We're gonna see pullbacks, but I think the bull market has officially started, in my opinion, at least from a breakouts perspective, because a lot of breakouts are working. S&P 500. The one thing that this is even though S&P has hit new highs, but it hasn't jumped as much as Nasdaq has. And so the distribution count, which is high volume selling days, like there's lots here. You can see right at the bottom, you see all these high volume selling days. It's still there, right? And because it hasn't moved as much, but if they continue higher, then those days will not be counted anymore, and then it will go back to like like right now it's 6 distribution days on the S&P, whereas on Nasdaq there's none, because what happened was like there might be some here, but they have been disregarded because it has moved up so much. They're too far away to be even considered now. So what, again, IBDs, like this signal is pretty accurate, like in general, because they have moved up so much. So here's the down day and stuff. But because it's so far away now compared to here, that usually after 5% they don't count it anymore. So that's what happened. But S&P is still at high. So but like I say, if it continue to move up higher, it will be disregarded. Slowly they will be disregarded too. So meaning the threat of those, because usually when there's high volume selling, it means institutions are getting out. But if the index have moved so much far away, then usually it means that even though there's some people selling, there's probably more buyers, right? So that's why the index continue to go up. Now the breadth, let's say, has expanded a little bit. I wouldn't say a lot, but it's definitely looked a lot better than a week ago. So if we continue this trend, then things could really go up a lot, because so many things are just not being accumulated, but it has improved. We have that ceiling issue. I think this week we're going to see more volatility because of this. I don't know. Market hasn't been too worried about it, but time is the essence, right? And now we're down to almost a little bit more than a week left. So people are going to start losing confidence if they don't come together. And so they already meet like 2-3 times last week and nothing happened. So not even some sort of agreement. So I don't know. It might not be good, right? That's what I'm saying. But and that's the thing. Like this could be a bull trap. Trying to get people in before the final big blow. So we have to be very cautious. Like I wouldn't think long term at this moment until this debt ceiling issue has been resolved. But from the inflation front, I feel like the Fed already speak their mind. Right? They don't want to raise rates anymore. They think the bank's issues are going to continue to tighten the credit in the market, which is good news for inflation, because people can't borrow as much to spend and stuff like that. So the big question is, market rally going to keep broadening? It has broadened last week, and I'll show you on McBoss Capital's accumulation distribution list in a second. Next week we have Fed meeting, which is, like I say, I don't think there's going to be anything new, because Friday I think like the Fed already speak their mind, unless there's more people agreeing to raising rates, but I don't think that will be the case. I think most of them are still on the fence, so I don't think they have made a decision. But let's see, right? Never know, there could be a surprise. Nvidia big earnings coming out. This is probably the most, beside Tesla, like this is probably the number one most anticipated earning. So it will influence the chip sector. And again, just like Onan, it's very like counterintuitive, the market, right? Like sometimes you see this run and it's running into the earnings, and you don't like that because all the expectations of the earnings has already been priced in. Even if it's the best report, it might already be priced in because of this run. You know what I mean? And it's probably better to be on the short side, or at least hedging it if you have a position. I wouldn't jump in for sure. I think there's a high risk that they might provide some sort of guidance that could disappoint, just like Onan did. And it's very similar to Onan. It's obviously Nvidia looks a lot better just because the run is longer, but it's very similar in terms of expectations. It's just it could be like Microsoft, where it just blew all expectations, and it's possible because they're both in the AI area, and that's the biggest growth area right now. And there's so many, like I couldn't believe how many things happening with NVIDIA, like so many partnership like right now happening. Like everyone wants to partner with NVIDIA to do AI stuff, and probably Microsoft too. But like NVIDIA more so because of their hardware capability, and yeah, it's just crazy, man. So many partnerships going on, which means they will probably increase their revenue big time. So like I said, the question is like, it's more about like what has been priced in and what, like, how's the expectation in the like, so yeah, but because it ran up so much already, like, it's crazy, man. I don't know if it can sustain this, right? At some point it's gonna break. It might even bounce on the guidance. Let's say they provide higher guidance, it might bounce on that, and then it might fall back just because people will start taking profit. This is huge profit. Even for long-term investors, this is a huge profit in such a short time. People usually sell, so because they've met their expectations, they way surpassed their expectations, right? So, yeah. So I would be cautious about that, and that could bring the chip sector down because Nvidia is the leader, right? The titan. So, yeah. PCE is the big economic number on Friday. Again, all the Fed worries about is whether there's any core non-housing service inflation. So anything that's related to services but not housing. But like I said, it seems like the market was like starting to, at the beginning of the week, it was starting to price in a rate hike. But then after Fed's Friday talk, it seems like they don't want to raise anymore. And I hear too many analysts all saying similar stuff, like they just don't want the Fed to raise anymore because the economy is slowing, and it's very obvious. Like Onan show, guidance down, Foot Locker guidance down. Consumers are not spending anymore. Like look at Foot Locker, it just tanked. So people are just not spending too much money. I just want to look at XLY for a second. So XLY, which is the discretionary sector, surprisingly is still moving up, kind of following the tech, right? So the tech and XLK, obviously probably the best index this week, is following that because these are all the growth areas. And then you look at, like, say XL, like financial is rebounding, right? So here it broke the 50-day trend line very clearly. So this could be a rebound. Yeah, like, there's a lot of people saying this is the bottom. Even Michael Berry, I don't know if you follow him. He's bought a lot of shares in banks, eh? Even the ones that are not doing so well, like PACW, like he bought a lot. So I'm surprised. He's taking a big risk on these stocks. But if I were to play this, I just play. You can play this. So this is the financial sector overall. You can play like the regionals. So regionals here again. So this is 21-day line right here, the slope. So it passed that. Here's a 10-day line. But 50-day line is still coming down hard. So I don't know. We'll see if it find resistance in that area. We'll see. Friday it went back down again, but again it's not that big relatively to how much it went up. So I'm seeing that there's a high potential to test the 50-day line coming down. That'll be the signal. I think if we can pass the 50-day line, like at least 1 day or two, I would say that's a good signal to get in. If we can hold that 1 or 2 days, at least 2, something like that. Because there's a high risk versus high reward versus risk right now, right? At least buying the index rather than the individual banks. KBE is the bigger banks. Probably look very similar. See this one, same thing, came close to 50-day line. Obviously, they got rejected, but sometimes the first day is not the best indicator. So usually you want to see the second day, third day, and so forth, and see how that goes. Yeah. But so far there's a potential here. Whether this bank story is ending or is this just another thing before the next big drop. No one knows, right? Yeah. And I don't know how the debt ceiling thing will impact the banks either. I have no clue. So, yeah, but the debt ceiling is going to be prudent this week. I think that will be the front and center news. I mean, by the end of the week, even if they don't sign an agreement, they should have something. They should be closer, is what I'm trying to say. But so far, it seems like they're both not agreeing to stuff. So that's the story for this week. And any questions?
No, sounds good. Can you repeat what Fed recently said on Friday? So they are not gonna raise anymore.
That's what they imply. Yeah. So he didn't say they're not going to raise in June. They just say policy rate may not need to rise as much as it would have otherwise.
Okay.
Which the market takes it as implying that they're not going to raise rates, right? They rather take a wait and see approach. And this is also weird. So even though this is good news, but the market didn't rally on Friday, right? So that's the interesting part. I would think that the market should rally. It didn't even jump. Like if you look at the index, it didn't even jump on that moment when he talks about it. Like there's no clear indication of any jump. So but the futures, obviously took that as a implication, right? There's no, it was around 9 something, right? Between 9 and 10. There's no jump whatsoever. That's the funny thing. So it's almost like that, like I said, that story is now not in the front center no more. It's going to be about the debt ceiling the next week or two, right? So, and also, because stocks has risen so fast, so at least some of them have risen so fast that I think it's going to take a break. Now, with that being said, a lot of analysts starting to like the cyclical stocks again because they have all corrected and they're starting to turn. So it could be a rotation, right? And that's the problem. That's the thing about the market. It's like they constantly rotate, right? So tech stocks took the lead. Who knows? The next 2 weeks it could fall behind, and then industrial stocks may take the lead, or maybe financial stocks may take the lead. So I don't know. It's just the way it is. The market. It's very But that's the thing, right? Like it's been more than 6 months now, or way more than 6 months. So if we go look at Nasdaq. Now, so here's something that is so this is Nasdaq. Now, on Nasdaq itself, the August high hasn't been beaten, but on the QQQ it has. So meaning like the top 100 stocks in the Nasdaq, it's already been surpassed, right? So right here, you see, it already been surpassed. So meaning the top 100 tech stocks are doing pretty good. But if you look at the overall Nasdaq, it hasn't beat that yet. But but it's doing well, and so it's getting close. See, it's getting closer and closer, and we are in a very clear uptrend. But the problem is the market is very hard to hold, right? It's just so choppy. Like it's anytime you try to hold, it just falls back down so fast. But the uptrend is it's very difficult. It's very choppy. Only this last few days has been more smooth. But even then, it looks extended so fast. Look at that, how fast it extended. So, but you never know. It could rise a few more sessions. You never know. But market is holding strong. Even on Friday, look, it didn't give up much, right? Like after 2 days of big gains, it gave up so little. Look at that. Like it's like a 0.2% it gave up. It's so little. So Nasdaq is still strong, and the QQQ is definitely even stronger. So look at this. It's like, it almost looked like it just want to go up higher, and it could, and before the next correction, right? So that's the problem right now. It's like so many stocks are extended. Even if you can find them, you're like, oh man, they're up like 10-15%. Like how do you buy into this, right? It's all extended. So it's a very tough market to be a stock picker at this moment, at least for the short term. And then if you want to play longer term, it's like, well, what if it comes back, 5-10%, and then you will suffer that major blow. That's why it's very difficult market right now. You see here, you have 2 days up, strong run, and then it falls, see, for 2 weeks. So that's why, like, it could run another 2 days, and then it may fall. The faster it rises, the bigger the fallback, more severe. So that's the tricky part. If you're not in stocks right now, it's probably mostly too late. And if you're holding stocks, you just try to hold as long as you can, and then try to take your profit. That's the only thing you can do, unless like I say, unless the stock market broadens. And if it broadens, then you should see more stocks from different areas. So let me show you the accumulation distribution on McBoss Capital here. So you can see at the stocks level, it has rise this week because it hasn't had any accumulation for a while. And this week it started, like, this is what I was talking about. Monday I was like, oh, maybe things starting to change. And then Tuesday, all of a sudden it reversed. I was like, oh man, we're back to the drawing board again. And then Wednesday it started to rise again. Thursday it rise even more, and Friday still doing well. Like I said, it didn't give back much. And you can see the technology group is the one that has strongly under accumulation, right? Financial is starting to come back a little bit, industrial a little bit. Like, again, retail got hit really hard on Friday, which gave back a lot of their gains. There's some commodities, probably like solar, maybe. I can't remember which group. Yeah. And then, like, I have, like, all my gold stocks got dropped, triggered early in the week. Like, all got dropped. See, they all broke their 10-day line, right? So, and they're now on the downtrend, very clear downtrend. So I wouldn't buy until it can climb back. Like, look at this one. It fell below 50-day too. So, GDX probably looks similar. Yeah, so this one, yeah, so there you go. So it all broke 10-day line. That's your signal to get out, and now it's on the downtrend. It fell again. So that's the problem with gold. It just keeps failing every time you try. It's so sad. Yeah, I'm not a big gold trader. Like I said, this is probably my first time trading it, and it's just hard. Even my best OR, it has fallen. See, like, so here's my last time I saw it, and look at it. It's like it has fallen quite a bit now. Now, right now it's trying to find support. You can see that on 50 days. So we'll see. If it falls below 50 day, it's gonna come all the way to 200 day. So that's why this is so risky, right? What was another one? AGI. Yeah, AGI is another good one that I owned before. Same thing. See right here, fall below 10 day, got out, and now it's now at 50-day line. Same thing. It's identical chart. This two, holding support at 50. So like I said, if it fall below this, it's gonna be painful, man. Like, this would be most last people's defense line. Like, even for like Jim Ropel, right? He's still holding. So if it falls below that, like, he'll be out for sure. I think most people will be out if it breaks 50-day line, because that's where institutions usually support the stock. So I would pay attention, even though like I have given up, but I still want to pay attention just in case it does bounce. Because usually that's where they find support, is 50-day line. So yeah, so those two stocks are like my favorite, but the whole sector is almost identical. Like, just at the index levels already below 50-day line. Usually, to me, that's a bad sign, because this is the average, right, of all the gold stocks. So it's already below 50-day line. The two stocks I just mentioned, Alamo Gold and OR, they're both really strong stocks, so they're still above. But I'm looking more like at the general level, which is not good. Like, it's already below 50-day line, and it's already 2 days below it. Sometimes the first day I'll let it go, but second day, if it's still below it, I'm usually like, yeah, forget it. This is not good. So, and part of the reason for this is the US dollar has gone up. See, like, it almost coincides directly with the gold. So it's like almost the same day. Like, it start to rise, and this gold start to drop. So the USD is really strong right now. Probably watching the 200-day line here. We'll see a bit. Like if it, I don't think it'll pass it, but maybe if it start to fall again, gold can come back in favor. But I don't know. But this seems to correlate right now, kind of opposite of each other. Yeah. So that's the dollar. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah. Anything else you want to look at before we jump to stocks?
No, nothing specific.
Okay. So at the stock level, there's just, like I said, text. Okay, I'm gonna jump to this screen for a second. Like, where is it? Right here. Yeah. So this is the Boss Capital 2, where we show the accumulation by stock at the group level. You can see computer, software, enterprise. 6 different groups leading from the tech sector. Like, the surprising oil and gas swinging back up. This is very surprising. And I also hear lots of analysts like buying back oil stock. So that's really interesting. So I don't know. Like some people, like even some of the like technical traders also find the oil is intriguing right now. We'll take a quick look. Just maybe there's some rotation gonna happen. I don't know. Retail still, the building product is still strong. Aerospace defense, right? Still strong. Real estate, yeah. So these are the strongest ones right now. Yeah. You can hear me, right? Sure. Let me see. Sure.
Yes, I can hear you fine.
This one is not very liquid, so we'll pass on that for now. It's under a correction right now. And that's the thing, right? Like a lot of these stocks that are really strong, like even up, like look at this earnings, right? Went up on the earnings, but then it reversed. So it just shows that stocks want to correct, right? Some of them, and so that's why it's we can't chase stocks, right? It's just one of those things that they have went up and then they're going to correct, and then eventually they'll bounce back, and then this will form a base, and so forth. So we just have to be very patient, especially right now. We just want to figure out who's going to be the leader next, right? So SMCI, obviously, like, I obviously, I have no regret selling this stock, but it just keep climbing, right? It's just,
Yeah, it's so strong.
Yeah, like this is the whole chip sector is like that right now, and that's why I say Nvidia, SMCI. I mean, all of them. Like we can go through them, like LRCX, like all these have no earnings. The earnings are so bad going forward, but yet they climb, right? So so the market is pricing in the worst case scenario. This is what it's telling me. It's already pricing in the worst case scenario in terms of their guidance, and they just want to go up despite all this bad guidance. Rambus, look at this. Sorry, Rambus. This is probably very strong. Look at how many days now. Like almost 10 days straight up.
Wow.
All these stocks is just crazy. Let me see what else. LGM. Okay, so this one is on my list still, but again, this one is surprisingly not doing the same thing, right? Look at this. It's not like climbing like fast, and so this is still like finding lots of resistance here. Yeah, and these are high growth stocks too. Like look at this. This one is the only one out of the ones that I just showed have positive earnings, but yet this one doesn't perform. It's so rare. Coming back to Nvidia, obviously the same thing, right? Nvidia, look at this run, 4-day run right here. So it's just keep climbing. Yeah, like if this is sustainable, then we want to see probably some sort of like base building here. Like even if it goes sideways for a couple of weeks, we'll see. Or I don't know, it may come down hard. I don't know, one of those two. Again, it depends on what Nvidia is going to say. I think it seems like Nvidia really leading the whole chip sector, but yeah. But like I said, if you look back, like ALGM corrected, right? Like most of them recently already corrected. So I don't know what to make of it. Like even here, like it already corrected recently. yeah, so all these stocks have corrected, like right here, you know. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see, but there's gotta be, even not like, even if there's no correction, there's gotta be some sort of pullback coming. Someone's gonna take profit. There's no doubt about it. So we'll just have to wait for that. But there's like I said, there's lots of stocks in that group right now. So Shopify, so this is computer software. So the software group is doing really well. It's number one in my list right now in terms of accumulation. Look at how tight this is trading, right? Now I took another position on Friday just because I really like how tight this is trading. And if it falls below the 10-day, my risk is so little. It's like less than 2%. But if it bounces from here, I'll be happy, right? So my risk reward is pretty good right now, but there's a high chance it will break the 10-day if the market doesn't.
What will be the stop loss? So right now it's about 10-day or?
Yeah, just about 10-day, like probably the lows of this week. I like to look at the last support level. So for example, in this case, the low was 59.42, like really little, like you see, not even $1. I mean, it could easily fall below that. Don't get me wrong, right? But that's what I'm saying. My risk level is so low. But if it's gonna bounce, it's gonna bounce, and so it could, once it bounces, I'll easily make 5 to 10% versus a risk of 1 to 2%, right? So little, right? So it's a high risk ratio here, and it's been holding up for 4 days now at this level, near 60, right? So we'll see. But like I said, it could fall. Don't get me wrong, it could fall. Like if the market goes south, everything will fall. So, but I'm just willing to take the risk right now just because of how strong this group is. But like I said, this is one of the few that hasn't been extended. Most of them are way extended. So, like Intel is another one. Okay. I also took a position on Friday. Like it came close to 50-day line. I'm a little bit premature. Usually I don't buy until it passed 50 days. But the reason why I bought it, look at Thursday, Friday. Look at the volume. It's very significant compared to the last 4 down days. Look at that, right? So even though like this is very few times I will buy below 10-day, but this is so close to 10-day that and this is a really strong performing stock, right? So this already taking one blow, and then it went up on earnings, and then it took another blow. So the like I said, even though they have good earnings, they still want to correct and pull back. And what I like about this, it made a higher low. See that? So this is a technical picture perfect stock, and I like the fundamentals. So I'm willing to take a risk again. But this one, my risk level is a little bit higher because it's more volatile, right? This stock. So I have to give it more, like probably around here. It's probably like somewhere around 6 or 7% stop loss. So, but those are the two. You see, those two. You look at they're at the top of this pack, and they're the ones that are correcting right now, while others are playing catch up. You see, ACLS. So that's another chip stock. We'll focus on tech stock this week because that's the strongest area right now. If you can't make money in this area, I don't think you will make money in the other areas. So let's go to daily. We can see they all make new high. All right, blow out here, new high, breakout. Look at the pullback, lower volume, perfect, right? So this is another good potential. Though, like I said, the only thing most of these stock they're extended, right? This is the 10-day. I like it to come closer to the 10-day, right? But some of them is gonna be so strong that they're just gonna keep, moving up higher and higher. So it's a risk reward thing. It's up to you, right? Where you want. But like Friday it pulled back, so you could take a small position here. Yeah, let me see. Did I take a small position? Maybe not. Let me check. No, I don't think I did. I missed this one. So I think I missed that one. So, but I think this is a good candidate to take small risks here, because but like I said, it could fall back to 10-day, right? That's the ideal buy point, but sometimes it never get to it. So, but this is at least it give you you can get in at a slightly lower price now. Because it just broke out, so that's what I like about it too. So, next one, IAS. IS is a newer name, I find. Not many people talk about it, but I like it. Look at this run, right? And then recently it broke down. But even look at this. Even when it breaks down, it's a one-day miracle. Like it has not make a newer low since then. This is how strong this stock is. Like I'm so shocked how strong this stock is. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a position in this. Unfortunately, I didn't buy it on this bounce. I should have bought on this bounce, but I missed it somehow. So anyhow, now I have to wait. You know, it's not too far from 10-day, but anything you don't buy at 10-day, I feel like it's a bigger risk these days, just because the market is so choppy. But it's a good stock. This is a good stock at the top of the path. ALGM. There's HIMS too. I haven't looked at HIMS. I know you look at that once in a while. Let me take a quick look. Okay, so this is on the. See, this is correcting right now. So, yeah. Okay, we talk about Rembers. LGM, we talk about Hubs. Okay, Hubs. Hubs again. Hubs was a stronger one, and now it has been like, oh wow, look at this. Look at this Thursday, Friday. Look how tight that is. Because it's so tight, even though it's higher volume, I usually discount the volume because the tightness is more important to me. In fact, it's impressive because there's so much volume and it's still traded that tight, right? To me, that's even more impressive. So I really like this stock, Hubs. You can see I sold my shares on Wednesday. But, you know, I really, like after seeing Thursday, Friday action, I want to get back in. This is strong. This is really strong action. So, okay, next one. The tech group is just so strong right now. That's why it could go further. I really believe it can go further because of all these stocks. And maybe other stocks will start to grow too, right? It will expand. I don't know. But, so here's one, broke out, right? Look how tight that is. This is exactly what you want to see. Every time it goes up strong, comes back little, and then it'll pause for like a day or two, and then boom, goes again. While the 10 days start to catch up. And again, this is the slope of the 10-day now. So sometime on the powerful rally, it might not always hit the 10-day. It will just like stay a little bit, like it will go up, and then come back to 10 days, a little bit above it, and then goes up, and then comes back again to the 10-day. Never touches the 10-day. And those are the powerful rally ones. So, but you see, there's a pattern happening, right? All these cheap tech stocks are all breaking out, and they're pulling back little, right? And the volume usually lower, and the volume breaking out is high. Look at this, highest volume ever since base one. So, like, it's important. Those are the factors you want to see: break out on high volume out of a base, and pulling back really low volume. So those are the things we want to look at. So again, another strong stock. I have this one. ZG. This one a little bit disappointing. I don't want to look at it. CRSR. So that's Zillow. I don't know. Okay, so this is in the gaming area, and it's broken out, right? Really tight action. I don't own this. I want to, but I keep missing it. So this is what I'm talking about. You go up, pulls back, never touches the 10-day line, and here's the 10-day slope. So you could expect every time you come close to this 10-day, it's probably a buying opportunity, even if it doesn't touch it. Because some of these stocks are going to be so strong, the rally. If this continues, I don't know for sure if this rally will continue, but let's just assume it does. Then, yeah, anytime you come close to the 10-day, it's time to buy. Because we assume this, these are strong breakout. Look at this breakout. 3 bases. It's crazy. Yeah, those are usually good breakouts. So this is another good stock. So there's so many stocks. That's the funny thing. There's so many. I like, yeah, there's just too many. SAP is not bad. NewR is reporting this week. It's really strong as well. I haven't gotten to it because I don't want to buy. There's too many stocks to buy anyway. I don't want to buy stock that reporting because it could disappoint. I don't want to take those risks. But look at those volume, like, It's really strong.
So
And
it's already okay. It's reporting in 3 days. Okay.
yeah, reporting in 3 days. It jumped on the news that someone wants to acquire them. They never said who. Don't. It's a rumor, obviously.
Mhm.
And that was the reason why it jumped so much. 2 days in a row. Usually, a rumor. What I've found is that a rumor can only usually, if it's not real, is usually 1 day action. But this is 2 days. It gives me a lot of reason to think this is real. So yeah. So like if you're willing to take the risk, and they're truly getting bought out, usually they get bought out at a higher price. So um yeah, there's a high chance it's gonna get bought out. So that's the rumor anyway. Yeah, if it's a fake news, then most people will take the profit on the second day, right? And people will sell out but it didn't happen, so that means it's probably real. Fortinet, all the security stocks are bouncing back really strong. We saw even starting last week, and see, this is the second week, still holding strong. Look at this run, right? So this one is breaking out. You can see right here, breaking out. I bought on Friday. See that? That's actually my arrow there. Because it was a nice move. I like it. But and it's close to the 10-day, right? So it didn't touch it. But that's the thing. Right now the trend is so strong, it might not touch the 10-day. Like it might not give you that chance to buy on the lower price. Just because of how strong it is. Palo Alto, it's very similar, but this one not doing so well, and this one is reporting in 3 days. Now they could blow the earnings, right? Like meaning they could blow past expectation and do well, because the whole group is doing well right now. So, but I don't know why it's coming down though. That's something that I don't like to see before earnings. But you never know, especially when the other group stocks are doing better. Dynatrace, really strong. Yeah, it's this day. I was watching it, and it bounced, like it was down for most of the morning, and then by the end of the day, it closed up. And I didn't take the position. I should have. I didn't. And then Thursday it bounced up, and Friday, look how tight it is. That's tight. And look at this volume just rising in the staircase.
Yeah.
Like Dynatrace, really strong. Monday, it's on my list. I don't have a position. Yeah, so it's pulling tight. See, all these stocks are pulling back tightly as the 10 days catching up. Because they all have those 1, 2, 3 days bounce. That's really strong. But this is a slope. Just follow the slope line. And this is in the base still, so it has a higher chance of coming out. So because it has much better reward risk ratio because it's still in the base. Yeah. S&PS. Okay, so this one, I missed this one. I was watching it on Thursday, report on good earnings, and it was up, I think, 5%, 6% in the morning. I said, hey, maybe I should get in, but I didn't pull the trigger, and it closed that day. Let me see. Up 8%. Friday it went up more, but it pulled back. So a lot of stocks did this. S&PS did this. Yeah. One stock that I regret selling too early, so it's Palantir. So Palantir is on a hot streak right now. So Thursday was a big day. So Wednesday I was in it, but I was like I don't know what I was doing actually, because I didn't have much conviction in the market at that time. But then, like I said, by the end of Wednesday, everything started to take off and close strong. And then Thursday, again, it started out slow. You can even see it. It's like started out slow, and then it just went up. And it actually up 14% that day. And then Friday, it went up even more in the morning. And that would be the perfect time. See, it's up 20% in like less than 3 days. It's crazy. So, and then I found out, again, this is probably the reason why it went up so much. I found out that Cathy Woods bought over 1 million shares on this stock on Wednesday, which was the day I sold. That's the funny part. So, yeah. this could be a leader just because of how strong this is running.
Mhm.
You know, I know it's just Cathy Woods buying it, but who knows? There might be other institutions wanting to buy this. So I think this has a high potential to be a leader. Obviously, this is an old name,
Mhm.
but like the volume is just there to show it, and this has good fundamentals and technicals now. So, so now we are officially in, you know, a stage 1, stage 2. So stage 1, now we're in stage 2 now. So now we are in stage 2 uptrend. So, you know, I think these stocks have starting to prove themselves that they're gonna become leaders again, and I like it. I just need to find the proper entry point, right? Because the worst thing you want to do is that now that it's so obvious, everyone's like, oh, I gotta get into them now because they, you know, they're moving. But then
Mhm.
all of a sudden you get a 5-10% pullback on the index like Nasdaq or something, and then you get shaken out, and then it goes for the big one, right? So we gotta be very careful. And like I said, I don't want to make any big decision until the debt ceiling thing is resolved, because that's the only caveat thing I think is left for the market to be super bullish. But right now the market is already showing being something about, you know, more bullish signs. So that's why I'm leaning more bullish now, but I still haven't, you know, and because of all the entry points are so far away from the 10-day, I don't want to all of a sudden take a big
Mhm.
hit. Like you never know, we could have a big down day all of a sudden, like a 3% down day, and then the stocks will be
Mhm.
down 5 to 10%. You never know. And that's what they usually do. These stocks, they're high flyers, but they also fall. They fall hard. Now is another stock that I own and I sold. I sold a lot of my tech stocks this week, just because how fast the gains are in just 3-4 days, right? So here I sold this one pretty early too. I sold a lot of them on Wednesday, which is kind of, how do you say, probably not the ideal sell point, just because they all break out at that point. But I just didn't think it was going to run that fast. I thought it was going to pull back before it bounced, but it didn't. We'll see. So this is the slope line now. So that's what I like to do. I like to draw the slope line and follow that slope line. This is a really strong slope line. Now it's a really strong stock. Um, EXTR is another one, and this one's starting to bounce. 3-day bounce. Baidu is the next one. So this one, look at this Baidu, right? Found rejection at 50-day. So, but it's,
Mhm.
you know, as long as this can hold, this pullback can hold, it might be worth watching it, because you know, we'll see. Right now it's still on a downtrend, but it's trading really tight on Friday. That's a really good sign. It's trying to hold that 10-day. There's 3 MA converging right here. So as long as it can stay above this 200-day, I think it's good. I noticed some Chinese stocks are starting to bounce from the bottom. So this is the bottom here. So we'll see, because they have been in a downtrend for like over a month now, most of them.
Mhm.
So they could bounce. We already talked about Palantir. CBLT is database. Like we saw, the group database are moving really strong. Look at this. Again, this is the 10-day line. See, it never, like, barely touch it. So you can follow that trend line, buy when it's near. See, I saw on Thursday this one. Friday is still continue to go on. It's starting to get extended now. Um, so, but there's so many, like EVH. This is computer health in the health industry. So this is pulling back. So some of them are pulling back, which is kind of interesting. It's not like most of them are going up, but not all. It wasn't like all, you know, which is what I find very interesting. Because in a normal bull uptrend, like if it's for real, most of them would be going in the same direction. So this one is bouncing back, fresh, whoops. And it broke out of all the moving averages, and it broke out this trend line. This is a perfect opportunity, I think, based on this base pattern. Um, I don't have this stock yet. There's so many stocks, right? Like the ones that I'm looking at is just a sample of them. There's just so many. Let's look at DV. DV. Okay, DV. So this one, it's kind of like, yeah, it's trying to bounce back, but I find it having a hard time, you know. So here it was the first bounce, but then you know, it's supposed to build a sideways handle, but then it fell. Now it pulled back and then went up again. It fell again. So this is the trend line right here. It fell again. Now it comes up here. Like, I don't know. We'll see. If it moves on Monday, I think it will be a good sign. Double verified. So a lot of software stuff. Net. Okay, net's Cloudflare, right? So let's look at that guy. So yeah, this is coming back up too. Again, you can see the trend line right here. So we'll see if it breaks this, because that would be good. Yeah. So that's a little bit of a laggard because it's still at the bottom of the base, but that's why it's like low on this list. But it could come back. Doc and these are the ones that have better earnings. It's okay. It kind of this trend line stick up above 200. So the 200 is starting to flatten, which is good. 50-day is rising. That's good. So all this technical stuff look good. It has dry up though, the volume. So meaning people are not 100% confident in buying the stock this week. Like, which we should see, because like I said, you know, everything is relative, right? So if the index is going up, we should see the stock going up, and it's not doing that. So that's just my caveat for this one. So yeah, there's probably more. I did, like I said, I don't have a chance to look at all of them. So that's technology. You know, I find some industrials were doing better on Friday. Let's see, TGLS, they were holding up much stronger. So here's one. So this guy, again, it's just having a tough time around this 10-21 day moving average. But the funny thing is, it just wouldn't fall much, right? You know, and it's very close to the 50-day. So this is like, I find this is a hard stock to trade. Like, you have to kind of like take a longer term approach with this one, like have a bigger stop loss, because it fluctuates like 5% almost every day. So that's the problem with the stock. But this is the number one, like at the top of the list. So TDG. So this is still one of the, again, same thing. Really nice, you know, uptrend right now. These are not, you know, high flying, right? So it's not going to move as fast as the text. But this might be ones that are easier to hold. And, you know, look at this. It obeys the 10-day like to the T. Just touches it, bounce. That's what I like to see. So I'll probably add to this. Right now it's on a 4-day uptrend. If it pull back slightly, I'll probably take another position. But this, like I said, these are slow moving ones. So, but they're more,
very nice chart though.
Yeah, easier to hold. Like look at this one, right? So that's probably what's happening here. So, yeah, because aerospace defense is one of the groups at the top, right? Based on this, what is it? Let me close this. Aerospace defense right here. TDG is not on this because it didn't have high volume this week. Okay, so that's that one. FLS, EXP, those are not bad. Holding tight around 10-day. You know, there's this 1 day on earnings, and then it came back down. That's a negative, but it hasn't fallen much since then. EXP, look at this, it's starting to fly. Probably will pull back though. Gawa, building heavy construction, ZTO. This one is a newer name on my list, and transportation logistics. It kind of broke out on Thursday on this trend line here. Friday it fell back though, but on lower volume, so it might be okay. We'll see. XPXC, machinery, industrial. This one is flying. Let's look at this 10-day slope. It's really strong. So here's a touch and then bounce. So we want to, yeah. I don't have this one. I missed this bounce. Hub. This is so a lot. I know there's a lot of electrical ones are doing well, which is funny. So they all look at this sideways, like went up, sideways pattern, now continues to climb, new high on Friday. So that's perfect. There's a few other ones. I don't remember. This is RE, no KE. Insurance group is also doing okay. Like they're slower moving though. This one pulled back slightly, but they're on the uptrend right now, most of them. Is it KE maybe? Okay, yeah, KE. Oh, this is electrical, yeah, manufacturing. So similar. Look at this, starting to bounce. So a lot of electrical ones are starting to bounce. This is security. FSCC. Yeah, this one also starting to bounce. So yeah, see, I have two positions now. One here, one here. Yeah, it's trading really tight. It's moving up in the uptrend. Yeah. Oh, this one I missed big time. This one, like every day it goes up. Let me see if Friday went. Oh, Friday finally went down. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days up. This this looking really good. Look at the volume come in. Look at that. Friday finally pulled back. Here's the slope line. So as it get closer, probably a good opportunity to get in. So that's really good too. Yeah. So that's industrial. Let's look at retail quickly. Like I know Friday a lot of them went down. Oh no, went down. Look at LTS for a second. So these are all pulling back right now, going sideways, which is not bad. At some point it's gonna break out, but they're all pulling back right now, all going sideways. So let me see, just a few of this win. Okay, this one, yeah. So this one is, broke down a little bit, shake out a lot of people. Look at this bounce on high volume. That's a good sign. So let's see if we can continue this climb now. Like I like shakeouts. Every time you see a shakeout, I like to get in, because most of the weak investors are out and they won't get back in because they got shaken out. So that gives me meaning like most people want to sell. Technically already did. So we'll see. LBS same thing. Let's see. Then this one also shake out. Yeah. Okay, bounce on the 50-day. That's interesting. That's good. Royal Caribbean. RCL. A lot of people are following RCL right now. Yeah. So I have two positions on this. So this is, you see, really close to 10-day, but never touch it, right? Really strong action right now. It just broke out. So I think, yeah, you might have a way to go if it wants to make 20% here. Uber. There's lots of all travel related. LI is the only auto manufacturer on there. Uber, look at Uber bounce. That bounce back is really nice. I got shaken out right here, unfortunately. I didn't get back in though. Uber, and then we have LI. Li Auto. This one is, I feel like this one, yeah, I took a position on Friday. Look at this bounce here. Really tiny. Didn't touch the 10-day. Again, all these stocks that are strong, I feel like they might not give you a chance to buy on the 10-day. It's just too strong. And this one already bounced quite a bit. So like the green bar is the 20% profit level. So, but what I learned about Li Auto is whenever it runs, it's probably back here last year. You can see it. It's kind of out of the chart, but it ran really strong right here. So I'm hoping for the same thing here to happen, because right now it's really strong. Just yeah, so we'll see if that will happen. Here, what do I really like? Celgene. Okay, let's look at not Celgene, Celsius. Look at Celsius, still holding really tight. I saw on Thursday, not much gain. The only reason I saw on Thursday was like I feel like this is moving, like it's already has so much gain and it's moving so slow right now, but it's still a good pattern. But I feel like it needs some time to digest. So maybe it might touch the 10-day, and then I'll get back in. CPA is another hot stock. This is an airline. Cooper. This one, look at this one, going sideways. This is perfect action. It's getting close to 10-day now, so maybe a good time to buy. So that's CPA. Just like Celsius, right? Going sideways, coming down a little bit. Get closer to 10-day, maybe a good time to buy. Yeah. WWE. I don't know what they did well this week. Let's see. Okay, it was doing okay last week. You can see I could trigger my stop here. So now it's starting to fall back to the 50-day line. So unfortunately that happened. Hyatt. So let's see if this, we talk about SHAK. TH, let me see. This is a smaller, this is what no one talks about. It's a very small cap stock. It's really good action. I took some of my profit here because it moved up so fast. But I think this one might have room. Like this is the 10-day slope right now. It's getting close to it. See, so I might get back in. This one is really strong. I like it just moved really fast. So PJR is strong too. That's pretty much some of the retails I'm looking at. Yeah, health is okay. Like the ones that I'm holding, like ISR, like I said, these are the most boring stocks right now, but I like it. Look at this. It just continued to climb. Look at this. It reached it. You see, it touched the 10-day, never go below 10-day. Those are good opportunity to add. This is my biggest position right now. Like which I don't have many stocks. Like I don't have a big portfolio sizing right now. But this one's my biggest one, and I just keep adding to it as it slowly move up. Really easy to hold, and this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up weeks in a row. That's pretty strong. Yeah, the other one, NVO, this one is looking good still. It's starting to bounce back, so you see this pullback, and this is the one that David Ryan also bought. Yeah, starting to bounce back above 10 days now, looking good. So yeah, Penn, I probably want to get into Penn. It's this stock, I just keep missing it. I don't know why. So here it is. Look, small pullback, touch 10-day, sitting on 10-day right now. Yeah, I think I want to look at all this volume. Wow, look at this. Look at all this volume. Even going sideways, there's so much volume coming in. Like people just not letting it go down because people want this stock. Yeah, I really like this one. Yeah, AMPH. This is also, this name came on my list this week. A big drop, but look at this rebound. It's already hitting new high. So probably need to just, like, for a proper entry, probably need to wait closer to 10-day. Yeah, I don't know, but this is really strong. Like this stock is acting super strong right now. And look at this. It's almost like, I don't know if it breakout. Let's see. It's pretty close. 44, 46. So okay, look at market close. It's already right past it. So Yeah, this one might be a, look at this runway here. Oh man. Yes, look at this. So, all right, we'll see. Like if it breaks out, it will be that strong. Solar, okay, pull back this week. So, yeah, look at this. Yeah, so don't chase the stock. This is the lesson you want to learn from this chart. Don't chase it. Now it's pulling back. Volume is drying up, which is good. Let's see if it finds support at 50-day. It hasn't yet. Like, it hasn't bounced off it, which is I don't like. But volume is drying up, so we'll see if it bounces. I will put my buy point here on this high if it bounced back. 208. Because I think the solar stocks recently has proven themselves, like the week before, not this week. Most of this week, most of them, like, so the previous week went up and then this week pulled back, right? But even then, you can see it's still at a much higher gain than 2 weeks ago. And then we look at Array. This is my favorite stock, Array. Wow, look at this. I own this one. I still have a position from this level. And you can see how tight this is trading. And this is the 10-day slope. And it's almost ready to break out. So watch out for that. So that one is not bad. SEDG, that's another one. Okay, this one is more choppier. But you know, still haven't broke out above the trend line. Yeah. Let me see. There's a gold. We're going to talk about gold. Yeah. Okay. And then financials, like there's TAX, TNK. Let's look at those quickly. Okay, this one is trying to, yeah, so now it's 3 days above the 50-day line. So I would consider this a good buy now. We just haven't seen much volume yet. That's the only problem. But the fact it's above 50-day line is a good thing. So this is in construction mining, TNK. This one is transport pipeline. So this one fell back. So that one's not looking good. Oh, CSIQ report this week. That's the solar. So let's look at that one. Wow, this one is still going up. That's amazing. CSIQ, look at this. CSIQ, you see, when it runs, and then when it goes choppy, it goes choppy for a long time. It's hard. Yeah, those are hard. Shows. This is also a name on my list. So this one broken the. Sorry. This one broken the trend yet? Yeah, it did. Kinda. Not quite. It's not an obvious trend line broken yet. So probably above 25 around here is a good buy point if it breaks out. You can see I still have a position here. Oh no, it gets straightened out the next day. So no, I don't have a position. Yeah, like okay, so NXT, this is the another solar. This is IPO solar. So look at it. It goes up really strong. The 10 days catching up. Now it's like near the 10 days, see? So this might be a star. Like, I don't know why. I feel like this can be a star. But you see, right, how big the trading range is. It's crazy on a weekly basis. Like, you gotta stomach this. If you get, like, this is probably one that you either take like a big loss or look 40 to 30, 25%. It's like nothing. So yeah, but this is an IPO. If market takes off, this could be a big winner. I have a feeling. And obviously if solar stocks do well too. So, but yeah, NXT, yeah, that's the only other stock that I still looking at is Rely. Okay, so this one is one of them. So this one, yeah, this one again, very nice movement. Small cap financial services. Um,
Yeah, I use their services. They are good.
really? You used this before?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we regularly use these services, Remitly.
Oh, yeah. I didn't
Like
even know.
any immigrant, basically to North America, uh, and Europe, they use this a lot.
Oh, like to
So
transfer money or what?
yeah, to transfer money to native country, India, or
Oh,
so.
wow.
Like basically, they are huge. I would say at least 30-40% market share of remitting.
Hmm. Yeah, this one obeys 50-day very well. So it just did that. It's still climbing. And then in between, it obeys the 10-day pretty well. And 21-day, really tight. Yeah, this is a very good stock. Like, um, so I do have a position in this one. Um, but I'm surprised how well this act. Like, and I don't like I say IBD never talk about this stuff, but I just found this stuff. It's interesting, and it's very small cap still. So it could be a big winner over the long term. But yeah, this is a big fall, but this
Mhm.
is now coming back. This is stage 2 now. Stage 1. This is stage 2 now. Um, yeah, earnings are not bad. Let me
Recent IPO, right?
This one, yeah, in the like what 21 in 2021, so less than 2 years ago. Yeah, why? Yes, 147% gain. Like it's not a big number in terms of number. So this will be like um 10 cents or something. Yeah, 11 cents. It will be positive though. So this will be it's all negative here. So this might be the first positive quarter coming up. So they're finally making profit. Interesting. That's usually, like I said, turnaround story. I like turnaround story. And the market is already reacting to it, so that's even better. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have not I think 1 or 2 positions. I don't remember, but they're still pretty small. So yeah, but looking really good. It seems like it's like it's not trading based on the market. It doesn't follow the market that much. It seems like it's just trading on its own. Like this is a very strong uptrend. The other one I haven't got a position yet. It's more less liquid. Well, actually, it's it's big market cap, but I think float is 10 billion. Okay, it's still pretty big. This is a Japanese stock in the
Mm-hmm.
financial, and I don't know the index, but right now Japan the index is one of the strongest. Recently in the last 2 weeks, and I don't really understand the. So Germany, Japan, like a lot of global index are doing really well, but Japan and Germany are doing better than US. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so US is in a way is catching up right now. So that is a good sign. If that continues, then maybe the world is anticipating a recovery of some sort from all this recession talk. I don't know. We didn't really have an official recession, but anyhow. Um, but yeah, this one like it broke out right here a big trend. But when it gap out so much, I couldn't get into it. I just didn't want to risk that. Then it pulled back tightly, and then I just watched it, and then it jumped, and then I was like, oh my god, that's a big jump again. And then
Mm-hmm.
now, look at it. Now it finally pulled back to the 10-day. So definitely more, a little bit more volatile. But the last run here was very impressive to me. This run right here. So that's the only reason why I'm looking at the stocks. Like I don't know if it will do the same thing. Possible. But again, this is Japanese stock. Like I said, I feel like the Japanese stock market is doing really well right now. So we'll see. But it could also be because of the U.S. dollar. Because when U.S. dollar go up, that could impact Japanese market big time. So we'll see. But I like the trend. It has broken that. It didn't come back and retest this. Usually that's what it does. So it broken this trend. It is now retesting it. This is perfect buy point, I think. If it bounce here, it's perfect buy point. So let me put a buy point at 674.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't even put alert. I have to write it down. So I max out. I have too many alerts. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's like, I mean, we can. I haven't followed IBKR. Like, I think, oh, that's another thing we didn't talk about. Like, well, we did.